Hello, everyone. This is Scribe, and with me, as always, is the lovely ranting monkey. Say hi, monkey.
Hi, monkey.
And SDA. Hi, SDA.
Hi.
You sound so enthused today, SDA.
I'm in a good mood.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
She actually, I'm starting to be able to tell the difference, and she does sound like she's in a good mood today.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're the SDA whisperer.
There's a little change to her voice.
A little tonal shift.
Yeah, just barely. Just barely.
Just barely. Okay, it's a matter of inches. All right. Always is with women.
It really is.
Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for coming tonight. Let's see. If a couple of sharp-eyed people noticed the titles of the last couple streams I've done, I'm quoting The Hunt for Red October because it's the best movie ever.
Mm-hmm.
In the absence of a more creative title or something else going on that would necessitate such, I figured I'd just keep plucking lines out of movies I like until I'm told not to. Or, yeah, because I'm sure that'll happen too. Let's see. Well, there wasn't a whole lot going on in the world of news today. I have a few stories to look at, but we're going to be pretty much potpourri from the get-go.
It's been pretty eerie lately how little news there's been.
I mean, there have been things that have been happening. There was like a bombing in Iraq. I mean, like there have been things that have been going on that if they happened over on our side of the world would be big news. But,
right.
You know, in relative terms, it's kind of like, well, kind of slow.
We haven't even had a good Trump said something stupid story in a few days.
Yeah, there's been a lot of the CNN in particular has been trying to fill up the space of Trump not doing anything outwardly stupid by just constantly posting speculation stories about what's going on with Jared Kushner or the Russian probe or all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But so essentially, like I say, we have basically potpourri from the get-go because I didn't find anything, at least not, let me check in the last 5 minutes. I don't know if something else has happened, but no, CNN, yeah, it's just, yeah, their headline is about Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. They're keeping their heads down. Great. That's their headline. Like, okay, they're doing nothing. I love that there's that kind of news.
That's a great symbol of where we're at in American news, that somebody not doing something is news.
It's like I said a long time ago, the line between TMZ and CNN is practically indistinguishable now. Okay, so we are off into potpourri, basically. So if you have any news, news stories that you'd like us to take a look at, please send them in through Twitter on hashtag MSSNews. We already have a few from staff reporter Jack Cochran, who's sent us quite a few today. I like just saying it like that. You know,
yeah, he's been on the job today.
Oh, man. Yeah, I have no doubt. So SDA, here's your categories to select from for the time being.
Okay.
We have Tiger Woods. We have self-destructing moth. We have Paris event. We have free speech rally. And we have Baltimore Confederacy.
Let's just get Tiger Woods out of the way.
Yeah, can we please? So Tiger Woods is in the news again after like years and years and years of not being relevant anymore. Tiger Woods arrested on suspicion of DUI. And the mugshot for him looks absolutely horrific.
It does.
I didn't realize it was him.
Yeah, he looks fugly. I mean, yeah, you look at that picture and you think of like the Tiger Woods I remember from the magazine covers and everything. This is like the Star Trek Mirror Universe Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
You know it's bad when Scribe is using hip language.
Yeah.
What's hip language?
You said fugly.
Fugly's been around since I was like third grade.
I know, but you know.
Okay, he's unfortunate looking.
There you go.
Right.
Very unfortunate looking.
Okay, so golfer Tiger Woods, currently rehabbing from back surgery, was arrested early on Memorial Day on suspicion of driving under the influence in Florida, according to police. Oh, he's a Florida man. Yay! Woods was arrested around 3 a.m. Monday in Jupiter, Florida. Jupiter police spokeswoman Kristen Reitler said he was booked into a local jail and released on his own recognizance with no bond a few hours later. It's unclear whether Woods tested positive for alcohol or drugs. It's also unknown at this time whether Woods was the only person in the vehicle. And that's the news. So
if he's rehabbing from back surgery, wouldn't it be most likely that he's just on painkillers?
That'd be my guess.
That would be my guess too. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, driving in an unadvised fashion while being on painkillers is probably it.
He got stopped for driving while black. We know what's really going on.
He's Blasian.
Oh, that's right.
He's dark enough white people would think he's black.
At least nobody was throwing a golf club at his truck or anything. Darker than eggshell.
Jesus.
Is that the standard now? I'm in trouble then.
Black?
If the metric is darker than eggshell, then yes.
Okay.
They stay out of like Mississippi.
Oh Lord. Okay, so self-destructing moth, Paris event, free speech rally, and Baltimore Confederacy.
Free speech rally.
Free speech rally. Okay, Portland mayor calls for cancellation of free speech rally.
Why?
This is Portland, where we had the burrito conniption fit the other day.
Is that why they're doing a free speech rally?
I don't know. I'll read the article and we'll find out. Okay.
That's my favorite part of the night.
Let's find out more. It's like in those news broadcasts where they like tease a story that's coming soon. It's like you'll be excited to find out, or it'd be interesting to know. The mayor of Portland, Oregon, on Monday urged U.S. officials and organizers to cancel a quote Trump free speech rally and similar events, saying they are inappropriate. Saying what? Okay, this is the AP. I'm going to read it as they wrote it. And similar events, saying they are inappropriate, could be dangerous after 2 men were stabbed to death on a train as they tried to help a pair of young women targeted by an anti-Muslim tirade. Mayor Ted Wheeler said he hopes the victims will inspire, quote, changes in the political dialogue in this country. So you want the victims to be political martyrs. Okay. Talisin Medirin Namke Meche, 23, and Ricky John Best, 53, were killed as they tried to stop Jeremy Joseph Christian from harassing the women, one of whom was wearing a hijab, authorities say. Another who stepped in was seriously injured. Christian social... What?
Sorry.
What?
No, I'm sorry.
For what?
No, it's interrupting.
What would you want to ask?
I mean, what does that have to do with a free speech rally?
I don't know. Christian's social media postings indicate an affinity for Nazis and political violence. He was charged with aggravated murder, intimidation, the state equivalent of a hate crime, and AP screwed up the page again by why do they keep refreshing my page and then moving everything around? I hate that.
Advertising.
Yeah, and being a felon in possession of a weapon and was scheduled to be in court Tuesday. The federal government has issued a permit for the free speech rally Saturday. I guess that was, this coming Saturday maybe, and has yet to give a permit for an event June 10th. The mayor says his main concern was the participants, quote, coming to peddle a message of hatred, unquote, saying hate speech is not protected by the Constitution. It absolutely is. You dumb motherfucker.
But again, what does that have to do with what happened with the guy being all stabby?
Well, let me get to the story. It's in here somewhere, I'm sure. I hope, or else it's going to be a really stupid story. A Facebook page for the event says there would be speakers and live music in, quote, one of the most liberal areas on the West Coast, unquote. It features Kyle Chapman, who describes himself as an American nationalist and ardent supporter of President Donald Trump. Chapman was arrested at a March 4th protest in Berkeley, California. Trump condemned the stabbing, writing Monday on Twitter, quote, the violent attacks in Portland on Friday are unacceptable. The victims were standing up to hate and intolerance. Our prayers are with them. Wheeler said he appreciated Trump's words, but stressed the need for action. Okay, here's him talking. Quote, I hope we rise to the memory of these 2 gentlemen who lost their lives, the mayor told reporters. Let's do them honor by standing with them and carrying on their legacy of standing up to hate and bigotry and violence. And so the way to do that is to trample on someone else's constitutional rights.
Well, that's what I'm still confused about. And what's your point? What does that have to do with a free speech rally?
Let me.
Well, the worry is that they're going to say something mean, and then that somebody will get stabby.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it is Portland, so nobody's allowed to have a gun. So maybe that's your problem.
Or make a burrito.
Maybe somebody will bring a burrito. It'll cause all kinds of problems.
Yeah. There's nothing else in the story that talks about what the mayor's concern is or anything other than it's going to be a rally that may be antithetical to the ideas of quote unquote tolerance or anything else. And it's like, even if it is hate speech, it's like, dude, you can call for the cancellation. You do not have the power to do that. And if you tried, they would have every right to sue your ass. So
Sanguine gave us a $5 donation. I'd like to say thank you, Sanguine. Sanguine says 2 people died. Sweet, we can use this. I mean, this is terrible. That's in quotes. Yeah, exactly. Guys, there's a $sign in the lower left-hand corner of your chat box where you can also donate to Scribe. And Scribe does a great thing on his channel where if you do that and you tell us what product you want, he will do a specialized commercial for you. And Sanguine has asked for whiskey.
Whiskey. Let's see who. Hold on a second. Let me check something out real quick.
When you're trying to figure out how free speech is related to 2 people, two people being stabbed, you might want to try some whiskey, Sanguine style.
I know. This is going to be too soon. Oh, this is going to be way too soon.
Do it anyway.
Thank you, Falcon. Someone had a burrito and an AR. Oh, God. This broadcast is brought to you by Sanguine. When you need to sterilize a stab wound, pour some Sanguine on it. Oh, God, that's bad. Falcon, fidget spinners? What is a fidget spinner?
You don't know what a fidget spinner is?
No.
Don't you internet every day?
It's a little thing people use, and they hold it in their hand and they flick it, and it's got 3 prongs, and the middle piece is got. You look it up. It's hard to describe it.
Okay, the psychedelic virtual fidget spinner. Okay. Say goodbye to your day. The interactive fidget spinner you can use on your computer and phone.
No, it's like a physical thingy.
Yeah, I know. The fidget spinner craze has been sweeping America with every one of the top 10 best-selling toys on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
A creative director. So
it's supposed to help autistic people and people who want to be autistic, right?
Well, it's also they've shown that a lot of people learn really well when they're playing with something in their hands. So it can be used for that. It's just a way to keep your hands busy.
Oh, okay. This broadcast is brought to you by Falcon Millennial. Getting bored of masturbation? Try a fidget spinner. I don't know. It's like you got to use your hands for something. I don't understand what this is. This looks like the next pet rock.
It kind of is, but it's more interactive.
I'm watching a video of a dog sniffing at a fidget spinner.
There's one guy did a video where he fidget spin for 24 hours.
Okay. Yeah, this is something I did not know existed in the world, and now I do. And there you go, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on.
Real quick, before we move on, I want to point out something that happened yesterday. Just because I think it's funny, and we didn't address it when it happened.
Okay.
Yesterday, Scribe was about to read a story, and SDA didn't interrupt him. I didn't interrupt him. He interrupted himself.
Himself? How did I do that?
Himself. You actually started to ask a question about the article you were going to read, and then you were told, I'll just read the article.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's true.
And I thought it was funny. So it's not just us. Even you do it to you.
Even I have to ask myself a question. That's true. I think I remember that. I don't remember which story it was, but I do remember that I did that. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. You've infected me.
I would have made fun of it yesterday.
Yeah, it's all my fault.
Oh, Thoggy's in the chat. Hi, Thoggy. How are you, Thoggy? Okay, so of the stories we have left for potpourri, so the Portland mayor thing, done with that. Self-destructing moth, Paris event, and Baltimore Confederacy.
Paris.
Okay, so this is similar, but sort of the opposite to the Portland thing, which I found was interesting. These 2 stories came up today. Paris mayor pans black feminist event over white exclusion. The mayor of Paris has strongly criticized and is threatening to cancel an upcoming festival for black feminists where 4/5 of the event space will be open exclusively to black women. Rights groups have branded the event a step backward on race issues. In a series of angry tweets on Sunday, Mayor Anne Hidalgo said she would call on authorities to prohibit the 3-day cultural festival scheduled for July. Hidalgo said she might call for the prosecution of its organizers on grounds of discrimination. Quote, I firmly condemn the organization of this event in Paris that's forbidden to white people, Hidalgo wrote. Telephone calls to MWASI, the group sponsoring the festival, were not immediately returned Monday. The group describes itself on its website as a, quote, Afro-feminist collective that is part of the revolutionary liberation struggles and is open to Black and mixed-race women. France defines itself as a country united under one common national identity, with laws against racial discrimination and to promote secularism to safeguard an ideal that began with the French Revolution. The program for the first annual Nyan Sapo Festival, which is set to run July 28th through the 30th at a Paris Cultural Center, states that 80% of the event space only will be accessible to Black women. Okay.
There are Black people in France?
Not many, but yeah.
Okay.
That's the bulk of the story.
Well, good for the mayor. Good for calling that out, because that's a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
You don't stop racism with racism, morons.
You would think so, but okay. So now we have remaining self-destructing moth and Baltimore Confederacy.
The bug one.
The bug one. Okay. Now this, I did read a little bit of this because it just was such a weird headline. And
oh, really? What's it about, Scribe?
I'm about to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll make my comments after I'm done. How's that? Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The headline is, researchers test self-destructing moth pest in cabbage patch.
Like a Cabbage Patch Kid, or just like a little...
I don't know. Researchers in a New
I
York...
thought you read ahead. Okay.
Researchers in a New York cabbage patch are planning the first release on American soil of insects genetically engineered to die before they can reproduce. It's a pesticide-free attempt to control invasive diamondback moths, a voracious consumer of cabbage, broccoli, and other cruciferous crops that's notorious for its ability to shrug off every new poison in the agricultural arsenal. Quote, it costs $4 to $5 billion a year globally to manage this pest, said Anthony Shelton, a Cornell University researcher who's been studying the species for 40 years. Quote, if you can manage it without using insecticides that can affect pollinators and other non-target organisms, that's a real advantage. Shelton is doing field tests of gene-altered moths at Cornell's Agricultural Experiment Station in Geneva, 160 miles west of Albany. Those experiments began in 2015, but until now were restricted to net-covered plots to keep the moths from straying. Now he's awaiting a permit from the U.S. Department of Agriculture to release the moths freely in a 10-acre cabbage patch at the research center. He hopes to do that this summer. And what I was going to say is, this sounds like the beginning of a sci-fi horror movie.
It really does.
Yeah.
This is also something that they're doing with mosquitoes too, though, to prevent the spread of malaria.
Mm-hmm.
In places, is they're just releasing these mosquitoes that will breed and that can't have fertile offspring, so that they just all die.
Let's see. The moths have a synthetic, quote, self-limiting gene that makes their female larvae die before they mature. Then how do they... let's see. Lab-bred males are released to breed with wild females, reducing the population over time by suppressing reproduction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds sexist. They're trying to kill all the women.
I mean,
right.
yeah, and the mosquitoes, they do something to the males, though, so it's... At least they're fucking with everybody.
Let's see. Self-limiting genes are just the latest in a range of diamondback moth control methods that include insecticidal chemicals, as well as predators, parasites, and diseases that target the moth, whose caterpillar larvae devour plants in the crucifer family. That's basically it.
Okay, so if we could stop talking about bugs now, that'd be great.
Okay. Falcon Millennial asks, where is this happening? They're testing this up in New York, it looks like, out near Albany, or some miles away from Albany. What?
Scribe's reading chat during the news.
I'm full of surprises today. I saw my name was highlighted, and I was just like, Okay, so our last story before we get on to staff reporter Jack Cochran. Baltimore mayor says city will look to remove Confederate monuments. Days after New Orleans officials removed a statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee, the last of 4 Confederate monuments the city promised to take down, Baltimore's mayor said she would look to follow in their footsteps of the Big Easy. Quote, the city does want to remove these, Mayor Catherine Pugh said in an interview with the Baltimore Sun. We will take a closer look at how we go about following in the footsteps of New Orleans. Pugh's predecessor, Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake, originally commissioned a review of the city's Confederate monuments and an inquiry into how to remove them. Why do you need an inquiry into how to remove them? You just remove them. I don't get it. Either you want them there or you don't.
But there's no, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I hate people.
That's basically the story. They talk about it. It's like, oh, well, I guess to take it back. The New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu is quoted as saying, these statues are not just stone and metal. They are not just innocent remembrances of a benign history. These monuments purposefully celebrate a fictional, sanitized Confederacy, ignoring the death, ignoring the enslavement, and the terror that it actually stood for.
Yeah, okay. What about Mount Rushmore? You have a couple of presidents up there who had slaves or were presidents over slavery.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to blow that the fuck up too? No. This is a part of history. Just leave it the fuck alone. If you're that worried about it, put a new plaque there telling them how bad this person was. Fuck off. Stop messing with history.
I mean, I guess, I don't know, I guess you're not supposed to say this, but we've sort of talked about this. There are interesting things about the Confederacy besides the bad stuff that happened. I mean, for example, the military leaders of the Confederate Army were far superior for the vast majority of the war, which is why it lasted for so long.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily something for anybody to really be ashamed of. I mean,
Lee was a much better general than Grant was.
Yeah. I mean, and essentially what they had to do to win the war, because he was a much better general, was basically commit horrendous atrocities against the citizenry of the South. And that's why the war ended. So, I mean, but that's still part of history. I know it doesn't make the South look like a bunch of incompetent idiots with slaves, but, you know, there's a bunch of different sides to it, and erasing it doesn't help anything.
It doesn't. If nothing else, what about just a reminder of what happened?
Yeah.
Anyhow, yeah, that's my take on it. Stop tearing down history. If you don't like it, fine. You can still teach people, you know, the correct version. But stop tearing down fucking monuments.
Let's see. So the first one I got, as far as like news stories from the viewers, this one was sent to me by Fernanda. This is a Huffington Post story. Honor roll student banned from graduation because of this shirt. And obviously I'm going to have to send the link out because you can't see it since we're talking about it. But
is it funny?
No, it's just a shirt. I don't really understand. I guess we'll find out because I don't know what the deal is. Link is in the chat. A senior at Hickory Ridge High School in Harrisburg, North Carolina, was recently suspended for wearing a shirt that showed her collarbones. Seriously. What's that scratching noise?
Oh, that's
I don't know.
Sorry. It's actually the washing machine.
Is that against the rules at the school? And did she know about these rules prior to wearing
let me read the story. Okay. Summer, an honor roll student with a 4.4 GPA, told NBC Charlotte that she was sitting in the cafeteria last week when the school's principal asked her to put on a jacket because her shirt went against the school's dress code. According to NBC Charlotte, Summer's shirt partially showed her shoulders and exposed her back. I'm looking at the photo and I can't see her back, but I guess I can kind of see a bit of her shoulders, sure. Although Summer reportedly told her principal she thought the shirt was fine to wear at school, she complied with the principal's request and put on a jacket. Okay. Unfortunately, the principal was still not satisfied and asked Summer to change her outfit altogether. Okay. I completely understand why a dress code is put into place, but I feel like after I put on that jacket, it should have been subdued, Summer told NBC Charlotte. I don't. Instead of accompanying the principal to change her clothes, Summer asked the principal to call her mother. According to NBC Charlotte, Summer had a number of issues with her principal over the past 4 years, and because of this, Summer's mother has asked the school to call her before taking any disciplinary action against her daughter. Weird. The principal was unable to reach Summer's mother, so Summer went about her day. Later, during a school assembly, the principal came in with a school security guard and asked everyone to leave except Summer. The security guard was within 5 feet of me. He had his hand on his gun, Summer said. The principal said, I'm going to give you an ultimatum. We have tried to call your mother, but either you come to me with to the control room to change your shirt, or we will arrest you.
Arrest you?
Right before the security guard could handcuff the high school senior, Summer's mother called. Thankfully, Summer was not arrested, but Yahoo reported she was given a 10-day suspension from school and was banned from all senior activities, including high school graduation. According to the letter sent home to Summer's mom, the high school senior was suspended for, quote, insubordination. What? Summer told NBC Charlotte that she thinks the principal is still considering expelling her. Yeah.
Well, part of me wants, okay, like, obviously that sounds crazy, but I also want to know what's happened disciplinary-wise prior to that.
I guess.
Because I feel like if that was like your first infraction or something, they wouldn't have done that. And clearly, and her mom, I guess the article said that there was a history between her and the principal. So I don't know what all that's about, but I don't know. That's crazy.
That's weird.
That seems like an overreaction. I'm kind of with SDA on this, that maybe there's some background we don't have here.
Yeah, because I mean, if this person has done something crazy in the past and they have a history of I don't know what, maybe that reaction is warranted, but without that information, I can't really say. I mean, the fact that the mom is like, you can't discipline my child without calling me for, it's all weird. That whole situation's weird.
Okay, moving on. Staff reporter Jack Cochran has this one for us. Man beaten with hula hoop after standing up for couple. A Brooklyn man who confronted...
I just want to say, I love that you laughed at a man getting beat with a hula hoop.
Well, I suppose the choice of weapon, given that it's like a hollow plastic tube, is just a little... a Brooklyn man who confronted some rowdy panhandling performers was attacked with his own hula hoop Sunday after standing up to defend an older couple who had declined to donate to the dancers. A bandaged Jean-Luc Wolfman said he had just given his unidentified assailants $1 when one of the men turned on a tiny elderly couple as the train pulled into 14th Street Union Square station. Quote, there was a tiny Jewish couple there, and the one guy started screaming at them, I will knock your beanie off your head, the frazzled 48-year-old said as he was escorted away from the Transit District 4 station by paramedics. I stepped in and I was like, back up. And the guy just turned on me and said, I will fuck you up. I will fuck you up, the Fort Greene resident said, and fellow street performer explained. I tipped him $1, he continued. When they wanted to fight me, I got out my hula hoop and I asked them to have a dance-off.
Okay, you deserve to get beaten with a hula hoop if you ask for a dance-off.
He took my hula hoop and he hits me with it and I started screaming, Wolfman said, gesturing at his wrapped head, which still sported a visible gash. The fight somehow made its way onto the platform while Wolfman continued screaming for police. He took my guitar and threw it down the stairs, the performer lamented. The one guy left and the second guy was like, you better stop screaming or I will fuck you up. His assailants remained at large.
Wow.
A dance-off. That is a peaceful way to try to resolve these things. At the same time, a dance-off. Are you Star-Lord? Are you going up against the Kree executioner or whatever? Yeah. Anyway, what else do we have?
What the fuck?
Yeah. Okay. The next.
That's what the title should have been. Moron who asks for a dance-off gets beaten with his own hula hoop.
Yes.
But okay, I'm just wondering, Like, somebody must be really good at beating you with a hula hoop to leave a gash in your head.
Those things are hard. That's some hard plastic.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, it's not inconceivable.
If you whipped it just right, I could see it.
Whip it good. Let's see. Jack Cochran, we already did that story. We did that story the other day. That story's just super sad. I don't know if I want to read that one. That involves a baby. And
I don't want to talk about baby.
Yeah, it's a sad story about a baby. Let's not do that one. Okay, this one. Another one from the Jack Cochran. Minnesota Museum. Yes, staff reporter Jack Cochran. Minnesota Museum to remove gallows exhibit after Native American protest. Okay. The Walker Art Center in Minneapolis has agreed to remove a controversial outdoor gallows sculpture following protests by local Native Americans. The large work includes design elements of 7 different historical U.S. gallows, including one used to hang 38 Dakota Indians in the state in 1862. And you know what kind of jokes you have if you make fun of this art exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
Gallows humor.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Very clever.
I know. I'm funny. Quote, I regret the pain that this artwork has brought to the Dakota community and others, Museum Executive Director Olga Viso said in a statement announcing the decision that was posted on Facebook Saturday. This is the first step in a long process of healing. Capitulate, capitulate, and capitulate. The 2-story structure entitled Scaffold, created in 2012 by Los Angeles artist Sam Durant and inspired by A Dark History of American Hangings, was intended as a criticism of capital punishment, but many in the local community considered it insensitive. The hanging of the Dakota 38 after the U.S.-Dakota War in Minnesota was the largest state-sanctioned mass execution in U.S. history. In 1862, the artist now supports dismantling his exhibit, Viso's statement said, and has told the museum's executive director, it's just wood and metal, nothing compared to the lives and histories of the Dakota people. Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're okay with getting fucked up the ass.
Mm-hmm. Your free speech offends me. Okay.
That's retarded. That's all I have to say.
But if he's... Okay.
Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
But if he's what?
No, it's okay.
Are you sure?
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
What?
If you have something else to say, go ahead and say it, because I was going to move on to another story.
No, it's okay. You can go ahead.
All right, Scribe, do you have this broken down by latest?
I'm just scrolling down, down the list of the stuff on the hashtag.
Well, there's
from
one
from most, as far as I can tell, from most recent to latest. Yes.
There's one a couple of stories down that you have to do.
It's the Kung Fu Master.
Yes.
Yes, I was just about to.
Okay.
You and I are on the same page. So again, from staff reporter Jack Cochran, Kung Fu Master uses his penis to pull enormous helicopter in latest bizarre world record. A Kung Fu Master, who was not Iron Fist, mind you, who dragged 7 cars with his penis, has become a new world record holder by towing a helicopter even further with his manhood. Several hundred people, as well as official adjudicators, watched as Yi Hongwei, who goes by the stage name Ye Wei, towed the heavy military helicopter with a rope tied around his genitals. Footage of the incredible feat shows him stuttering at first, unable to get the momentum needed to get the aircraft's wheels rolling on the tarmac outside the hangar. But he eventually summons the inner strength necessary to drag the helicopter over 10 meters, or 32 feet 9 inches, beating his intended target of 8 meters, 26 feet 3 inches. He was then given his world record certificate by officials representing the World Record Academy. Ye is from the city of Zibo in East China's Shandong province, where he has been practicing, quote, Zen Tai Chi for over 30 years, but the feat was conducted in the Fangshan district in Chinese capital Beijing. Speaking after his successful attempt, Ye Wei said, I don't know where I staggered at the beginning. I felt a bit nervous and unsure.
Well
no, I have no idea what he sounded like, but geez, okay, I'll say that again in English. I don't understand. I don't know why I struggled in the beginning. I felt a bit nervous and unsure, but I mustered up the energy needed and started the helicopter moving.
Well, being nervous and unsure when you're whipping out your dick is just natural the first time. You get used to it.
In April, Ye towed 7 Audis weighing 12.6 tons using his manhood, dragging the vehicles for a total of 8 meters.
Can I just say, when I hear the term manhood, it really just makes me giggle.
Yeah, I don't understand
so
this.
Stupid.
It sounds stupid, but hey, you get 15 minutes of fame for something, I guess. Let's see. We did Tiger Woods. Happy news. Okay. Oh,
I was going to say, we got that one story with the infant a couple of times, so I do want to just address it real quick.
Yeah.
Guys, if you don't know what you're doing with the baby, find a manual, talk to somebody. They're babies. They need constant care. That's all I want to say.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened to the baby?
The baby died.
Somebody left it alone with their dogs.
And did the dogs?
Yes.
Yeah. And then there was another story yesterday that we didn't cover where some alt nutrition people basically were starving their child to death. It's one of the things that they talked about with vegans. If you do go vegan and you're going to do it to your child, make sure you talk to a nutritionist, because you have to do it very carefully. So if you have a baby, treat it like a baby. It needs constant care.
Thank you, Sanguine. Well, if that's what it takes to summon his inner strength, I'm not going to judge, but seems impractical. Cybernetics. Okay. This broadcast is brought to you by Sanguine Cybernetics. If you happen to rip your dick off pulling a truck, you might want to replace it with Sanguine Cybernetics.
Oh, I got damn washing machine.
What'd the washing machine do to you?
It's making too much noise.
No. Well, tell it to get a room. A laundry room.
But the door's open.
Oh.
Close the door.
Yeah, close the door.
It's where the cat's litter box is. I can't close the door.
Oh.
Move the litter box.
So this one comes to us from Florida Ghost, which I assume is that of the Florida man we keep hearing about, and says this is a happy story. So let's find out. Okay. So happy to be home. Police reunite kidnapped pit bull and owner. Okay. A Crestview man's 18-day ordeal ended May 12th when he was reunited with his beloved pit bull, Migo. Wade Bean, who reported Migo missing in April, credited Crestview Police Sergeant Raymond Harp with his dog's safe return. Raymond Harp, that sounds like a superhero secret identity name. He called at about 7 p.m. saying he had info on the case, Bean said. A few minutes later, Harp and his wife showed up in their personal vehicle with Migo in the back seat. Where was the dog? From everything they'd heard from area residents by phone, in person, and on Facebook, he thought Migo was stolen by people who use pit bulls for dog fighting and breeding. Okay. Yeah. When asked about how the reunion came about, Bean said no charges were pressed, so he had no information about how officers located the dog. Okay. That's basically it. So Mr. Bean got his pit bull back.
That's good.
Yay. Let's see. Is there anything else on the hashtag that we have not yet covered? Okay, that's another sad story. Not a chicken. I mean, guy getting stabbed to death. It's like, I'm not trying to avoid like sad stories per se, but
in fact, he didn't die.
That's true. He didn't die. Okay, well, all right.
His fiance just stabbed him 28 times.
Okay, well, we'll do that one then. Somebody didn't die, but fiance stabbed me 28 times and left me hour away from death just weeks after asking me to marry her. Barman Martin Brown was attacked by Harriet Sharp during a 3-month-long campaign, but was, quote, too ashamed to tell anyone. Okay. A passionate romance turned to terror and bloodshed for a man whose lover flew into a frenzy and tried to stab him to death. Vicious Harriet Sharp, 25, grabbed a kitchen knife and plunged it 28 times into her fiancé, Martin Brown. The blade punctured his lung and left him just an hour from death. The horror was a culmination of a 3-month campaign of attacks, bullying, and manipulation by Sharp against the man she had agreed to marry. There's a picture of this woman. Ugh.
That bitch looks crazy. Don't fuck crazy, guys.
Yeah, that's that hair. Hey, good Lord. You know, the size of her eyes in relation to her face, she looks a little bit like an anime character, but not in the cute way. Earlier this month, she admitted 3 counts of malicious wounding and was sentenced to 11 years behind bars. Well, good. Martin, 29, is recovering well from his physical wounds, but the mental scars cut far deeper. He has even attempted suicide and is still in hospital suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder.
Look at this crazy bitch. Don't fuck something that looks like this. Don't.
Yeah.
Ever.
Martin said for the first 5 months, everything was going great and it felt right to move in with her. A month later, Sharp broke with tradition by proposing in a pub to Martin with a diamond-shaped suite. Okay. He said, I thought she was joking at first, but she said, no, I'm being serious. It was in front of everyone. I went a bit red, but I said yes straight away. I was in love. Martin, who was also working as a laborer, and Sharp, who had not worked for a year after quitting her job at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, okay, excitedly began planning their future. They wanted to get a flat in nearby Thornton, and they named October 22nd, 2017 as their wedding date. But Sharp's behavior took a menacing turn. One night last October, Sharp had been binge drinking and came home in an aggressive mood. Martin said, I tried to calm her down. She went to the kitchen, got a knife, and sliced my neck. I was shocked. I asked her, what the hell are you doing? The next day, Sharp apologized and gave Martin a hug. He did not get any medical treatment. And there's a picture of the slice on his neck. Holy shit, dude.
Why would you stay with the bitch? Okay, I get not being too ashamed to go tell anyone.
Yeah.
Fucking leave.
If she'd gone any deeper, holy shit, okay. He was so shocked by her behavior, he convinced himself it was a one-off. But Martin could not have been more wrong. Sharp, usually drunk on cheap cider, began regularly attacking him. He said she'd slap me about when she was drunk, scratch me on my arm, and scrape a knife across my leg. Anything could trigger an attack, such as a row with her mother. She would pull Martin's hair and try to strangle him. He felt trapped but never retaliated.
Jesus Christ.
He said, as a bloke, I thought this shouldn't be happening to me. I didn't think there was any help out there for people like me. You hear a lot about women in this situation, but not men. I was too ashamed to tell anyone what was happening. I told them I had slipped and fallen over in the bath and cut myself. Sharp's campaign to isolate and manipulate Martin intensified when she texted all his friends saying he no longer wanted to speak to them. When he went out for a pint with his dad, she rang to say she had collapsed. He went home to discover she was fine. He said, quote, when she was drunk, she would call me worthless and scum and say she was going to cheat on me. But at other times, she would still tell me she loved me and give me a hug. Jesus. In December, once again, Sharp, who had argued with her mom, went to Martin with a knife. He said, quote, she sliced my skin to the bone in my left arm where it meets my hand. I felt sick and dizzy. I went into the kitchen and had an epileptic fit and collapsed on the floor. Good God, man. I was crawling towards Harriet, but she ignored me and carried on watching TV. Then she told me to say I'd had an accident chopping food. Jesus Christ, dude.
Okay, guys, and all kidding aside, if you are in any kind of abusive relationship, any kind, get the fuck out.
Yeah. This
guy could have died, and these aren't just minor warning signs. The bitch tried to stab him several times before this.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay, again, I said, I understand, being ashamed part. Fine. Break up with her because she looks like a fucking troll then.
Yeah, you don't die of shame, just to let you know. You're not going to die of shame.
It's better to be a little bit embarrassed than dead.
Yeah, just saying. Yeah, holy cow.
Okay, guys, I will be right back.
Okay. Yeah, the story keeps going. There's lots and lots of pictures of the guy's wounds, and they're horrible looking. And so I'm glad that this lady is in prison for 11 years. Same. It should be longer because
I think so too. I mean, this is the UK though, it sounds like, right?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is multiple counts of attempted murder.
Well, that's what I was about to say, because I don't know how they handle attempted murder in the UK, I don't know. But I know here you get a pretty hefty sentence for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like every single time she stabbed him, or every separate instance of that, even just like slicing your hand open like that, if you cut an artery, you're dead.
Exactly. And the cut on his neck especially. I mean, if that thing had been just a little bit to the left or right.
That is at least 5 or 6 counts of attempted murder right there.
Yeah. So
I think she should be in prison for life. I mean, she clearly wanted to kill him.
Yeah. This is just nuts. But Anyway, so there's that. Let's see. I'll refresh real quick. Won't post to MSS News. Okay, what's this?
So don't sex people who are crazy.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. So this one comes from Knight O'Charlemagne. I don't know what it's about. Let's see. UK's Big Brother anti-terror strategy is flawed, UN expert says. Okay. Britain is undergoing a subtle but alarming shift towards criminalizing peaceful protest and free expression, said a UN report on Monday that likened it to a Big Brother state of surveillance and suspicion. The highly critical report covers many policies overseen by Prime Minister Theresa May in her prior role as Home Secretary, Britain's Interior Minister, and comes 10 days before a general election that polls say May could win with a narrow majority. The report, dated May 24th, was drawn up before the May 22nd suicide bomb attack that killed 22 people at a Manchester pop concert and makes no reference to it. That attack has prompted an internal review of how Britain's security services handle intelligence on suspects. Britain's MI5 had identified bomber Salman Abedi as, or Abedi, I forget how they pronounce it, as a possible radical, but did not have him under surveillance, a source told Reuters. It is highly unusual for authorities to confirm an internal probe into possible security service lapses. Yeah. Soon after the attack, Manchester police sources told Reuters they believed security in London, 250 kilometers to the south, had been prioritized while budget cutting in other cities saw police staff cut and career opportunities reduced. Let's see. Written by Mania Kyle, or Kai, I don't know, who was UN Special Rapporteur? Rapporteur? I don't even know what that word means. Rapporteur. Rapporteur? On freedom of peaceable assembly until last month, the report said Britain's civil society was a national treasure now at risk from police tactics, anti-terrorism legislation, and curbs on charities and trade unions. It goes on for a while talking about casting too wide a net over what counts as potential terrorists or things like that. So if that were the case, though, then wouldn't Manchester have been stopped ahead of time? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Weird one. I'll check one more time on the MSS News, but I think we might be coming up on YouTube time.
Guys, if you have a story for us and you want us to cover it, we won't cover all of them. We'll cover as many as we can that don't depress us too much. It's hashtag MSS News on Twitter.
Let's see. I don't see anything new. So, yeah, as of right now, there's nothing new.
All right. News time's over. Yay!
Yay! I did a lot of reading this morning, actually. I dropped in on Dire Wolf's stream. I think they were planning on doing a Cards Against Humanity stream, but instead they had me read the article on the fake paper of the conceptual penis.
Oh, right.
And it was an article, I believe, from the authors talking about how they created the thing and the response they got and how the journals all screwed it up. If you haven't heard that story, it's very funny. If you look up conceptual penis. Did we talk about that? I can't remember.
Yeah, we did.
Just briefly, yeah.
Yeah. So the short version is some guys put together a academic paper about the quote-unquote conceptual penis, essentially filling it with gobbledygook academic jargon that, in short, basically said men are bad, but it was all sorts of crazy academic phrasing and such, and they tried to get it published, and it was, after going through peer review and editorial and everything else, even though all their citations were fake. Nothing of the paper had any substance in any rational sense of the English language, and that was a really funny story. So I looked that up. The conceptual penis hoax story is very interesting. So YouTube,
real quick. Scotch is asking me to talk about the Andy Worski Adindro interview.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one. I only got to see parts of it because Irate Bear had me on a stream at the same time.
Oh, so you poor thing.
We actually had a good talk, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. But if there's something specific about it you wanted me to talk about, let me know. I'll tell you if I saw it or not.
Okay. SDA, are you working on any videos?
I put out a video today, but I covered the same video that the same Riley video that Monkey covered, so we don't have to talk about it.
Okay.
So I don't have to talk about it.
Well, I mean, because we already covered his video.
Oh, last night, you mean?
Yeah, since you did the video on it.
Well, do you have any impressions of it that Monkey didn't?
She did a much better job of going through it and answering his points. I tend to jump around a lot and miss things, and she caught a lot of them that I didn't. It's a really good video. You guys should watch it.
Okay. Monkey, I know that you had a video.
I did. I made a video today calling out that bitch Bearing.
I know, right?
Oh my God, I cannot believe how people reacted to it. Most people got the joke. Some people were, kind of confused as to whether it was a joke, and then some people hate me now because they think it was serious.
Right.
Back in August of last year, Tim Blake, aka the Demotivator Opinion, made a video that pretty much started Christy Winter's war against Bearing. There was a little bit of stuff before that, but that's when everything really blew up. And in it, this video is called Bearing, Unfunny Harasser of YouTube Feminists. He just whines about Bearing making videos about people. Fast forward to, I think it was 2 days ago, Bearing had a conversation in private with the white YouTuber, and they were talking, the subject of Andy and Chris Worski came up, and Bearing ended up convincing the white YouTuber that Andy Worski was Asian and got him to actually make a poll on Twitter asking people if Andy looked white or Asian. So I took the opportunity to make a parody of Tim's video about how now Bearing's attacking our side. And some people just did not get the joke.
Right. That was funny.
If you've watched my videos, I start them all the same way. Hey, everybody, it's the Ranting Monkey. Today we're going to talk about, and when I first made it, I actually made 2 audio cuts that I didn't use. In both of them, I say, today we're going to talk about a cunt. And I thought, damn, if I do that, there's going to be people who take this seriously. So instead, I changed it to a poo-poo head.
Yeah, right.
And I thought that was a dead giveaway. But to anybody who saw that and thinks I don't like Bearing, I love Bearing. I think he's funny as fuck. But that was my video today.
I am not currently working on anything, so I did find something that I'm debating about working on.
Yeah, what's that?
So AJ Plus, or Al Jazeera Plus, I guess, they're an interesting channel. They put out a video today. Let me look it up real quick to make sure I got the title correct, because I don't want to misquote it here. Let's see where to go. There we go. Okay. So it's called Why American Public Schools Are Failing Students. And for those that don't know, I have a series that I do on occasion called Curriculum of Fear, where I take a look at school-related issues regarding teaching kids social justice, or teachers either talking amongst themselves or promoting, sort of regressive type of philosophies in their educational curriculums. And the AJ Plus video is promoting, in short, and it's a 6-minute video, but mostly it's promoting the idea that the only way that students will learn is if their teachers are their own race.
Oh, this shit again.
And I've covered this before, because there was a video, one of my first Curriculum of Fear videos, one of the teachers in there, and it was just a candid sort of classroom thing, talks about how, and I've heard this elsewhere, of course, too, students need to see themselves in their teachers, and so on and so on. They need to see authority figures of their own kind and everything else. And it's like, okay, so you're promoting segregation, like should only teach like, and that somehow skin color supersedes a quality educator, first and foremost. It's like, even if you have a quality educator, if they're not of the right skin color, they shouldn't teach kids of a certain skin color, is what it's promoting. And it just pisses me off. The problem is that it's kind of a long video, and just making that point would be pretty much the beginning and end of the video, because they kind of repeat that over and over again in different ways. not much. It doesn't really feel like video material at that point because they're not really making an argument beyond that one thing. And all I would need to do is record once. You're promoting segregation and racism, and just keep inserting that into every pause break. It's just
followed with Cenk going right.
Oh man, I do that to myself too. I don't even let myself off the hook. If I catch myself after writing a script following up with a right or something, then I usually put that in there. So yeah, but anyway, that was what I was looking at. I'm debating about it. I'll probably find something else because I don't know. It's just sort of a general anger at the whole idea. It's just like
I have a couple of ideas that I'm working on. I haven't figured out which one I'm going to do tonight. Mm-hmm. Little Butt doesn't come back until 10 tomorrow morning, so I can actually stay up and make a video. Mm-hmm. But Roaming Millennials video today, she did the gender tag test.
Yeah.
Gender tag test.
Yes, it helps you to identify your gender.
I saw that and are you thinking about doing it?
I am, yeah.
I am. I was thinking about that too.
Uh-oh. So sounds like a collab.
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah, we could.
Oh, yeah, she didn't sound happy about that at all. Yeah, we could. I guess.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. I'm just kidding with you. 1 Ton Hammer just threw my whole thinking off.
Okay. Well, nice little pause. Steven Seeger, thank you for the donation. Ranting Monkey versus Bearing for Dawn of Memes. That would be a funny video. I wonder if Bloodwing could put together an animation of that. Monkey versus Bear, Dawn of Memes.
I'm sure he could.
What product shall I use for Steven?
Steven, do you have one that you want, or do you want us to pick it for you?
Yeah, we'll wait for Steven.
Yeah, I forgot whatever my other thought was. That totally fucked me up there. Peter asked me if I binge watched Weeboo Jones, and yes, I did. She's also highlighted in my latest video. New, smaller YouTuber, really good stuff. If you like long content, you'll like her stuff a lot.
Steven says he'll let us pick. So What are you thinking?
How about a razor?
A razor. Oh God.
To go with 1 Ton Hammer there.
Okay. Well, I've already done one stab wound joke tonight, so I guess I could move on.
There you go.
Oh Lord. Let's see. I can't. Everything I think of involves suicide.
Oh my God.
What does that tell you? Oh, I know. Okay. Okay. This will be a callback. This broadcast is brought to you by Steven Seeger Razors. Steven Seeger Razors. Are you feeling like dressing up in clown makeup and terrorizing people at a convenience store? Put Steven Seeger Razors on your glove and run at them.
Oh yeah, the clown dude.
Our crow makeup razor Freddy Krueger clown guy.
That's a great segue for Monkey Dick.
Really? Jim Jones?
Jim Jones. Movies.
Any other YouTube drama right now or anything?
Not that I know of. Well, I know there's some going on with a particular group. It's kind of a weird one. Cog and oh God, I'm trying to remember everybody's name and I'm blanking. Anyway, there's a guy goes by the name Ogre, and he's just a complete ass in some of the streams when he gets really drunk. Mm-hmm. I would recommend going to Cog's channel. It's Cognitive Thought. Check out his channel if you're interested in that. But other than that, nothing that I can think of at the moment.
What's happening with that? Is it just like this guy's an ass, or?
Yeah, a real big ass. So if you like really like soap opera kind of drama, this is a good one for you. If not, you can. Another story I'm thinking of doing. There was at Cannes, I think it was the Cannes Film Festival.
Cannes.
Sophia Cannes, thank you. I always say Cannes because there's an E, and that's how you should pronounce it. I'm not French. Or we're
not
Cannes. But anyway, Sofia Coppola won Best Director, which is amazing because women don't generally win. But she is getting torn apart for winning because her movie featured too many white chicks. People are seriously pissed off that she won for a movie with white chicks in it. By the way, this movie is based in not World War II, sorry, the Civil War, and it's about a soldier who hides out in a Southern girls' boarding school. So of course it's going to be all fucking white women. But yeah, people are mad about that, and that's one that I've thought about tackling.
I am, as I speak, based on what was suggested a couple, like either last night or a couple days ago, I'm about to tweet Lacey Green about BDSM on the off chance that she wants to talk about it. And I'm sending her a link to my non-author dark channel just to show, God, how do I shorten this tweet? I'm 7 characters over, and I even used tiny URL. How about...
While you're doing that, Falcon Millennial, thank you so much for the donation. He says, I've been on Ogre's streams and he's two-faced. I don't know the guy. I only know what I saw. And yeah, I would avoid. That's just my opinion. Did you have a product you wanted us to do, or do you want us to pick and you get something horrible?
Okay, I have just tweeted Lacey Green on the off chance that she reads it. I don't even know if anything will come of that, but there you go.
It never hurts to try.
Okay, let's hope Lacey doesn't get the wrong idea, Scribe. Well, if somehow me asking her if she wants to talk about BDSM is taken as something else, then she can ignore it. Because that was not... And I have all these witnesses to say this was my intention, so if you have to reference it back. Ogre's stream. I've been on Ogre's stream once, a long time ago. Someone sent a link out or shared a link, and I was on there. I didn't stay long. I don't know much about the guy. I've heard varying things about either good, bad, or otherwise, but I don't have any knowledge of it.
Falcon Millennial would like you to do precision rifles.
You guys, it's like, okay, here's a tool for killing yourself. Do an ad on it. Precision rifles.
It can be a precision rifle could be used for lots of things. It doesn't have to be for.
But precision rifles, no, they're used by hitmen and assassins and things. Who was it that sent this? Falcon Millennial. Okay. Precision rifles. I'm gonna have to think about that one. I don't know how to make. I want to make that funny somehow, but I don't. Without, I mean, my first instinct is to make a comment about Lee Harvey Oswald, but
why not?
Yeah, I know, right? Too soon. Okay.
Too soon.
This broadcast is brought to you by Falcon Millennial Precision Rifles. Do you want to miss Jackie Kennedy?
Oh my God!
Use precision rifles. And that's a callback to the Quantum Leap episode, just so you know.
Oh my God!
Wow,
that was awesome.
Oh God, I'm bad.
And that was such a cheap ending to that.
It was. It really was. God.
Don't you remember in the original she died? Like that's fucking stupid.
That's how we right. That's where we set right what once went wrong.
Yeah.
Jackie needed to live because.
So her son could die in a plane crash.
I mean, if Jackie Kennedy had gone on to cure cancer,
yeah,
I could totally understand that. Like if she had done something that's like ridiculously significant, other than just be a really sad widow. And Sanguine, thank you very much. Okay, now I have to strychnine. Jesus Christ, strychnine. Oh my God. Fuck me. Okay. This. Oh fuck. I'm going to hell for this one. This broadcast is brought to you by Sanguine Strychnine. Want to have a cleaner way of taking out your fiance than with stab wounds? Try strychnine.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, you guys.
Oh. Okay.
I see a theme starting now.
I do.
It's like it's strychnine, a noose or something. It's just going to keep coming.
Well, for that one, you got the Indians. Don't forget.
Oh. Oh my God. Okay. Oh yeah, today is JFK's 100th birthday. I forgot. I saw that in the theater too when I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy 2. They had an ad up for that, celebrate 100 years of, or JFK's 100th birthday or something, and they quoted him about, I forget what it was. It was some, inspiring quote of his from way back when. Oh my God. Okay. Careful joking. Okay, this is backscan. Careful joking about the JFK's assassination. Get too close to something and the men in black will show up at your door. If the men in black showed up at my door, I'd call myself, having an interesting life. Chinese curse as it is, but still.
Oh, man.
What's with SDA tonight? Well, not verbal speech.
You okay over there? You tired tonight?
Yeah, I'm fine.
How's Jinx?
He's good.
Has he done anything cool lately?
He learned how to spin.
Like you say spin and then he does it?
Yeah.
Does he spin like a widget spinner?
No, it's cuter than that.
Oh, it's cuter than that. Oh boy. Your boy Pat's in the chat. Hi, Pat. Okay then. Well, now what? I've talked about I've given death ads. We've talked YouTube and potential drama. We've done news. We have an hour left. I don't know what should we talk about.
We have. Did you see? It was in one of our MSS News ones that they're making a Jack Ryan TV show.
That's right. I forgot. Somebody put that at the top because when I put in they recognized the line. I put in the title of this stream. I would like to have seen Montana, which is a line spoken by Sam Neill, an Australian playing a Russian in The Hunt for Red October. But yeah, I haven't seen this yet. So now it's in the MSS News.
Yes, and apparently the guy from The Office is going to play Jack Ryan.
Yeah, I now that part they did mention, and you know that guy Krasinski or Krasowski or whatever his name is, he was originally up to play Captain America in the Marvel movies. He was one of the. Yeah,
I think they made the right choice.
I think so too, because I don't see, even if they dyed his hair blonde, I couldn't really see him as Captain America.
No.
Where's the? I don't.
He could play Goofy.
I don't have the link.
They did a live action Disney. Oh, somebody said I was going to.
You're breaking up,
talk
monkey.
About irate bears. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Testing.
Sounds okay right now. Go for it.
Okay. Somebody said that I was going to talk about the irate bear stream. The part that I was going to talk about in there was the reaction to my video. That was the part I was going to talk about. So already been there. I just didn't mention that it was from there because it's how we opened his video.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up now because Jack Ryan TV series. Okay, so I gotta say, John Krasinski is a really goofy looking guy. I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy and everything. He's a very oddly shaped face, and so trying to take him seriously as an action star, I'll give him a chance, but. Let's see. John Krasinski is set to star as the titular CIA analyst in Amazon's upcoming drama series Jack Ryan. And back in August, the streaming service officially greenlit 10 episodes for the season. Let's see. Jack Ryan may be the first time the character has made it to television. That's true. But the CIA superstar has appeared in 5 films played by 4 different actors. Yes. They've been giving details on the show itself.
As goofy looking as he is, I think he fits the part pretty well.
And that is true because Jack Ryan was the Hunt for Red October and Alec Baldwin's performance in that is actually as apt a characterization of Jack Ryan as you can ask for, because Jack Ryan was not an action star. He was not a superhero or anything. He was a CIA analyst who had some military training in the past, but had been behind a desk for years, and he was thrown into this ridiculous situation where he doesn't really do anything actiony until the very end of the movie. And so he's not meant to be like an Indiana Jones or anything. So if Krasinski can play a guy who is coming out as a CIA analyst, but not comically, I don't want a stumbling buffoon. There's got to be a sense that he's a legit intelligent guy who has some military training. That's the one thing. If he comes out sort of like Chuck or something, who's just sort of an accidental hero and makes jokes about it all the time, I hope that's not how they're going about it, but won't know until I see it. So
I'm getting a lot of roboting from you, and I'm sure it's me, so I'm going to drop. I'll be right back.
SD8, am I roboting to you?
No.
Okay. So monkey. Let's see. Yeah, Alec Baldwin, I think, was the best Jack Ryan. I think Harrison Ford has been so typecast between Indiana Jones and Han Solo and a bunch of other things that trying to see him as just an analyst with his ruggedness and everything else didn't make any sense. Alec Baldwin at the time still had that really babyish face, so he didn't look like he was at all hardened by the world and such. And then Alec Baldwin and Ben Affleck in Sum of All Fears was just ridiculous. And I never saw the Chris Pine one that came out a couple of years ago because I just
that one wasn't. It wasn't bad, but
yeah,
it felt much more like an action movie than
right.
They pretty much turn Jack Ryan into Jason Bourne for a little bit.
Yeah,
and it's a prequel to all of the other movies, so it makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah, the thing about Tom Clancy books is that, for the most part, there's one specific exception, but for the most part, they're political thrillers. They're techno-political thrillers. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people maneuvering politics stuff that has no action in it whatsoever. The action stuff usually happens incidentally or as the climax to a story. But even like in the Sum of All Fears, the bulk of the story happens after the nuclear bomb goes off. And it's just the sort of the aftermath of trying to figure out who bombed them and why, and the president losing control. It's a bunch of like people talking. It's not really action movie oriented. Now, the only exception being, and one of my favorite Tom Clancy books is called Without Remorse. And it's basically The Punisher, the novel. And it's awesome. It's just Mr. Clark on a revenge spree. And it's fucking awesome. And I wish that was made into a movie because that is built to be an action movie. But otherwise, yeah, they always take like except for Hunt for Red October, which does have a whole bunch of people talking and there's not a whole lot of action. There's underwater stuff at the end, of course, but they save all that for the very end and everything else is just tension and talking and people maneuvering. So that's why Hunt for Red October is the best of those kind of movies and one of my favorite movies. Anyway.
I actually liked Harrison Ford in that role. My only problem is he was a little too rugged.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, once you got to Ben Affleck, it's just like no.
Yeah, no. Especially since that was also supposed to be a prequel to the other movies.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense because Sum of All Fears was one of the much later stories in the Jack Ryan mythos and all that stuff. Cardinal of the Kremlin is excellent. Actually, I got to say that next to Hunt for Red October, Hunt for Red October as the movie is one of my favorites. But as far as Tom Clancy books, Cardinal of the Kremlin is my favorite. I got that book on tape when I was very, very young. And it's read by David Ogden Stiers, who was on MASH. He played Winchester. And he did an amazing job in characterization for those voices. And Cardinal of the Kremlin they could never make a movie out of it. And if they did, they would totally reduce it down to nothing. But Cardinal of the Kremlin is awesome. One of the best books.
Should we turn it over to the people watching?
I think so. Because SDA's gone silent running, and we don't have any more YouTube drama to talk about. SDA, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you so quiet? I'm gonna pry. I'm gonna be nosy just for a minute. Why are you so quiet?
I'm fine.
I know you're fine, but why are you so quiet?
I don't know.
Nothing's on your mind?
Not in particular.
Okay. Is something wrong that we should just leave you alone about?
No, I'm fine.
I know you're fine. Okay. I just get concerned is all, Pat says you need a hug. Do you need a hug?
I'd
Aww.
rather somebody not touch me.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then,
Are you guys huggers?
If I know the person well, sure.
Yeah, I'd say I'm about on the same level as that. And just like spontaneous hugging from people I'm not that familiar with is probably a little uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot uncomfortable for me. Get out of my bubble.
Well, yeah, and anybody touching you causes immense pain, I think, too, right?
What's that? I'm sorry?
Anybody hugging you causes immense pain, I would think.
Oh, it does now, yeah.
Yeah.
there with the medicine I'm on now, I can actually get a hug. There's a certain range on my back from just under my neck to just under my shoulder blades that cannot be touched still. But as long as it's a hug lower than that, I can get hugs again. But yeah, there was a while you couldn't touch me at all.
SDA Lucky 7 has sent you 4 penguins, and the Peter has sent you a penguin to try to cheer you up or energize you, whichever. Let's see. Okay, so chat, it is your turn. It is your time. We're turning it over to you a little earlier than usual because honestly, it was a slow news day. We probably had to have had another 20, 25 minutes worth of news if something had happened today. I'll check, but I don't think anything has, at least not of super note. And we went through all what?
Your boy Pat says, sometimes I don't know my own strength when it comes to hugging. I would imagine. Have you seen him?
No, or at least not standing up or anything. I think I saw him. I usually see his avatar more than anything else.
Dude's got huge fucking arms.
Uh-oh. Oh, I remember Scotch was asking us to talk about noir movies earlier. We've talked about those before. Like neo-noir, like Memento, or Bound, if you haven't seen Bound, with Joe Pantoliano and one of the which one of the sisters was it? Anyway, I think Linda Gershon is in there, or Gina Gershon is in there. And of course, there's the classic noir, like The Third Man, which I think was one of my favorite old noir movies with Orson Welles, or Touch of Evil, which would never be made today the way it was because you've got Charlton Heston playing a Mexican.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Which is just
I just haven't seen that many noir films. I love Chinatown. Chinatown was excellent.
Chinatown's great.
The Maltese Falcon, fucking excellent movie, which is hard to find anymore.
Yeah.
But I just haven't seen enough to talk about many. I like them, the ones that I've seen. When you get to something like The Two Jakes, they tried way too hard and just turned out to be a shit movie.
Eric, thank you for the donation. Was too late for MSS. What do you guys think about the United IT outsourcing thing? I don't know what that is.
Are they doing that to make up for the Asian that they beat up?
Oh. Wow. SDA comes in with a winner.
She doesn't talk much, but when she does, damn.
United
that was excellent.
I'm looking to see if...
to be honest, I don't know anything about it, so...
Like, is that, you mean like United Airways? Or not, your airlines? I don't know.
Fingers McGee asked if I'm still willing to debate somebody on the alt-right. I'm sure if there's something to debate. Talk about the Alien and Predator movies.
Oh, God. They were bad, mostly. The first one was okay-ish, but everything else kind of sucked.
MASH has asked us to talk about the Huffington Post trying to normalize pedophilia.
Oh, I must have missed that. Didn't they do that? Isn't that an old story?
Yeah, but it's something.
Or they did it in the past. Yeah.
I believe the story that was linked. Well, it was a picture of a story. I never actually got to see the story itself. It's the same old thing we've talked about a few times when this comes up. Mm-hmm. People trying to turn pedophilia into a sexuality, and it's right. Not.
Yeah.
And again, this is why with the whole gay marriage debate, I hated that argument. We're born this way. Even if you're gay, even if you are, you can still have sex with a woman and make children and live a heterosexual life. We know this because people have done it. The argument for gay marriage is that it's nobody else's fucking business. Let them live their lives, not we're born this way. Because when you say we're born this way, then you're opening up for every fucking weird thing out there to just be, oh, this is how I am. You can't judge me. This is how I am.
Yeah.
And that's a bad door to open.
Well, there's also a lot of... Sorry, Scribe.
Oh, I was going to say I need a product for Eric at some point, but go ahead, SCA.
There's also a lot of evidence that for women especially, sexuality is a lot more fluid anyway. And So, I mean, a lot of women just choose to behave in a heterosexual manner anyway. So, it's even if you're gay or whatever, it's still about how you personally choose to live your life. So,
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, if you were, for whatever reason, straight, you decided that you wanted to take it up the ass forever, I guess that's up to you. I don't know. I don't think it would make it any different.
Yeah, I just like the argument. They're grown adults. They're consenting. They can do what they want. That cuts out anything with children because the grown adult part.
Eric wants me to do an ad on a sextant.
What's that?
It's a stars thingy, right?
Yeah, it's how you measure stars while trying to sort of navigate at sea and such.
Oh, okay.
A sextant. Okay, well, at least it wasn't a suicide machine, unless I can somehow turn a sextant into a suicide machine.
I don't know. Are they? I mean, I guess if it was particularly pointy.
They have edges and points on them. Oh,
Yeah,
Skeptic Simba.
You can still kill yourself with that.
Skeptic Simba. The separation of church and state is hypocritical because religion is used to determine law. Double standard much.
I'm confused as to what that's in reference to.
Maybe just wanted to say it.
Okay.
Sextant. Let's see. Okay. This is going to be a very bad joke because I can't think of anything else right now. What a preamble, right? This broadcast is brought to you by Eric Sextants. When in Hollywood, if you lack a map to the stars, try Eric Sextants.
Well played. Very well played.
That came out wrong, but anyway, mumbled over that one. So, Skeptic Simba, do you have something you'd like me to use in an ad, or you let me know?
While you're at, I want to address what he said there.
Okay.
The idea of separation of church and state is not what was in the Constitution.
Right.
The Constitution was talking about the state not getting involved in religion and not stopping people from practicing their religion, not keeping religion completely out of law. You can still have your religion, and as you go to vote for a law, use that as your basis for why you're voting for that law. I agree with most of the idea of separation of church and state, because those two things together, the state and religion, can completely just fuck your whole world up. And you get people who are religious zealots, and now the government's telling you what to do, and it's a bad thing. We've seen it throughout history. However, the idea was that there's no national religion, not that religion is never involved in decision making. You can still have your personal religion as a representative.
So I didn't get an answer from Simba on a product. So any ideas over here?
How about an antacid?
Okay. Let's see. Oh my God, I'm horrible. Okay. This broadcast is brought to you by Skeptic Simba and Acid. Has your fiance set your heart afire rather than stabbing it? Use Skeptic Simba and Acid.
Oh my God.
And then of course we have Sanguine. Thank you, Sanguine, donating because SDA knew a thing Monkey didn't, and Noose. Okay, Sanguine, I thought about this because I knew it was coming. This broadcast is brought to you by Sanguine Nooses. If you have a noose, make sure it is a genuine sanguine noose and not a fake noose.
Nice.
Har, har, har. I've had a lot of people asking about Far Cry 5. I don't know anything about Far Cry 5, but I've heard people mentioning that there's something about it that is controversial or something. Do we know anything about this?
I don't. I've seen stories about it, but I haven't had a chance to look into it yet.
Okay, everything you need to know about the Far Cry 5 review. Okay, so let's see. What do I need to know about Far Cry 5? I know it takes place in America this time, or at least something like that.
Yes.
The story of Far Cry 5 takes place in Montana. Perfect. The title of the stream makes sense now. Yes. Not only does it make sense in reference to what I meant it to, now it actually has like connection. Awesome. Okay, the story of Far Cry 5 takes place in Montana. This is the reporter talking. I explain why that's the perfect setting in this post. Okay. You play as a sheriff's deputy who has arrived in Hope County only to discover that the entire region has been taken over by a doomsday cult, the Project at Eden's Gate. Your job is to help rally the locals into the resistance and take out the cult. Meanwhile, some locals will take the side of the militia cultists. The villain, Far Cry 3 and 4 were both largely about each game's larger-than-life villain. Far Cry 5 continues that trend with the father, Joseph Seed, the leader of Eden's Gate. We don't know much about him yet, blah, blah, blah. Gameplay, yeah, it looks like it doesn't have much information on that. Character customization. Oh, for the first time, players will be able to fully customize their character. Wow, that's a great departure from any other Far Cry game. This means you can play as a man or a woman and choose your race. I'm not sure how much actual customization you'll have in terms of shaping your character's appearance, but I'm thrilled that we'll have choices. I don't see why it's relevant, because in Far Cry, you're like first-person perspective the whole time.
True, but I want to address the whole male versus female avatar in games. I have no problem with you being able to choose either. But like, if you choose a woman, you should be weaker, shorter, and not able to like jump as far. And you shouldn't be able to drive worth of shit. I'm just saying. Jesus.
Oh my God.
They should make it as real as possible.
Yeah. I don't understand what the controversy is exactly. I guess I'll have to look up here because...
Well, I don't know if this is it, but One Ton Hammer in chat said that it's because instead of shooting brown people this time, you're shooting only white people.
Okay. Let's see.
What jumped out at me?
Wait, what?
The cult leader's name is Joseph C.
Seed. S-E-E-D.
Okay. Joseph Seed. We're in Montana. It seems a little bit close to Mormonism.
Thank you, Eric. Wants an oven.
Make it easy. Oh, just make it easy on me. There's only one place I can go with an oven ad, dude.
An easy oven?
No, there's only. Oh God, there's only Holocaust jokes to be made with an oven.
I would never make a Holocaust joke.
I know you wouldn't. An oven. An oven. God.
Good callback.
Something. Yeah. How can I make a joke about an oven that doesn't go back to the Holocaust?
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
I don't know. He said he's to make it easy on me. I don't know if that's easy or not. What were you going to say, Monkey?
When while you were trying to think of something, I was going to relay a story to our audience here. The other day, both me and SDA jumped on Irate Bear's 12-hour stream where he was raising money for the kid who needed a walker. And we played a round of Quiplash. And after like the first two questions, Irate Bear made the comment that nobody's saying, or it's not being racist enough. If you guys have ever watched a Quiplash stream, they're usually horrifically racist. And smartass over here, I would never make a racist joke. 2 seconds later, one of her comments comes up, and it is a horrible Holocaust joke.
I would never.
She was giving. Yeah, you would never. You guys can still go watch that. It's up.
I would never.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, God, this is so bad. All right. This broadcast is brought to you by Eric's Ovens. If you do indeed come across a fake noose, try putting your head in one of Eric's ovens.
Very well played.
I don't know. I give up sanguine. What's going on?
Don't forget, this is your time. So if you have questions, throw them out there.
Yep. We're into the last half hour. So here's the Far Cry 5 controversy, supposedly, or at least bits of it. Let's see. Far Cry 5 is set in a Montana county, and its lead enemies, judging from the key art, are a band of white Americans. The image is a loaded collision of violence, religion, and politics. The band of rural Americans, sporting unkempt beards and wool button-downs, while wielding magnums and bowie knives, recreate the tableau of Da Vinci's The Last Supper. On the table rests iconography of rural Americana, a freshly baked pie, a glass jug, an empty beer bottle, a raw steak, and an American flag. Let's see. The symbol of the cult resembles a squat version of the cross of Scientology. The blue tone of the chapel resembles the color of the church's headquarters in Los Angeles. This could be read as further commentary. They say it's a Christian cult in the game, though. Let's see. The significance of the game using white non-military Americans as villains extends beyond the Far Cry franchise. Other than the Grand Theft Auto and Postal series, very few medium to large budget video games have used American citizens as lethal targets. Like the action movies of the 1980s, most video games have defaulted to non-controversial fodder like Nazis, indistinctly foreign terrorist robots, alien zombies, and of course Nazi zombies. Yep. Yeah, there's not. That's about. I guess that's the controversies that it might be implying, specific religions or whatever, or just American citizens in general.
Well, here's the thing: some Americans take it a little too far.
Yep.
I have no problem with that description of the bad guys because why not shoot them?
Well, I mean, there was a.
It's a video game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, there was a way back when, and this was back when the Michigan militias and all that kind of stuff were the big deal. There was a video game I actually owned on Mac called Damage Incorporated, and it used like the Marathon engine. If you ever played Marathon, way back when, long before Bungie did Halo. And what it was the entire game was you taking down different extremist cults in America. So you had like a pseudo KKK cult and a religious suicide cult and a whole bunch of other things. And it was a fun game. It was really graphic at the time for the graphics that it had, because like the enemies would like get all bloody and blow up and stuff. And so it's not the first game to do something like that, but it is something that's not done very often. That's true.
Okay, to go through some of our questions here. Urkel, I think is how you say that, Ercole. Di Stefano asked if we were all in the continental U.S. I believe we are. You are, right, Scribe? Yeah, we're all in the continental U.S.
I prefer to think of myself as a citizen of the Confederacy.
I'm quite literally in the continental U.S. because I'm inside of a secret mountain base.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. One Ton Hammer asked if I saw Philly D stream today. 18,000 people in chat. It blew up like an Ariana Grande concert. I did try watching, but it was horrible to watch, so I'd stopped.
Why was it horrible to watch?
It was laggy as fuck.
Oh, because there were so many people watching it, or what?
Yeah, chat was going like.
I always close chat when it's that big. I always close the chat and just hope that it takes away some of the lag.
I tried that, did not seem to work.
No, okay, all right.
Yeah, it was bad. It was real bad.
I can't wait till our streams are that big.
Me too. What movies are you guys looking forward to in the next year? That comes from Knight O'Charlemagne.
I'm gonna upset Monkey. Spider-Man. And Thor. Is Thor this year?
Thor is this year, yes.
Yeah,
Ragnarok.
I'm looking forward to Thor. I still say Spider-Man's going to suck donkey balls.
I saw the full trailer when I went to see Guardians because I'll like skip through a trailer and not watch it. And it got me excited for it. So I'm excited. But the only exposure that I have to comic book characters is like the MCU pretty much. And he's my favorite Spider-Man so far. So I guess my perspective is a little bit different than people who like know the comic books and give a shit.
That's one of the reasons like I didn't really even mind the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck. I didn't mind or have any real problems with Iron Man because these aren't characters I'm invested in. But Spider-Man is sacred to me.
I'm looking forward. So there's the obvious ones. I'm looking forward to seeing Spider-Man with the fingers crossed that it's good. I don't know yet. We'll see. Thor, looking forward to it. Obviously, the new Star Wars movie. Even though Mark Hamill's been quoted, and I don't know if this is a feint, like he's just saying it for like the sake of reverse PR psychology or something, but he's said in interviews several times now that he fundamentally disagreed with every decision they made about Luke Skywalker in that movie. And I don't know if he's kidding or if it's some kind of weird thing, but if he's telling the truth, I'm like, oh shit, well, and that doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. I mean, sometimes actors are wrong about the characters of the story, but anyway, we'll see.
Thank you, Stephen. Sorry.
Oh, thank you, Stephen. Can you do one for Ryan Flynn and cyanide? Who's Ryan Flynn? I don't know what that means. Do one what? Who's Ryan Flynn?
I think an ad.
An ad for Ryan Flynn.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. Who's Ryan Flynn? Explain who that is first, Stephen. I don't want to misunderstand. I'm also looking forward to War for the Planet of the Apes because I was actually really surprised by the last Planet of the Apes movie. The last Planet of the Apes movie was actually really, really good. Yeah,
that trilogy, well, it's assumed to be trilogy, but the first two movies are pretty good.
Yeah, they're decent. The first one lags in a couple spots, but the second one is great. I was really surprised by it.
I mean, if they do a really good job on this one, it'll be a pretty solid trilogy.
Steven says, a friend of mine. Okay, so Ryan Flynn, cyanide.
So you just have to work it in there.
So kill his friend, clearly.
Okay.
Or have his friend kill someone if you're not feeling homicidal. Just be homicidal through other people.
The product is the state of New Jersey. Thanks, Eric. Oh my God. Okay.
New Jersey.
Ryan Flynn. Okay. This broadcast is brought to you by Ryan Flynn cyanide capsules. When you need to kill yourself after being caught by the enemy, chomp down on Ryan Flynn cyanide capsules.
There you go.
Good job.
And then Eric, the product is the state of New Jersey. Oh my God. The state of New Jersey.
If you want to kill yourself, there's no better place to go.
Haha.
God. I have to, so basically I have to come up with an ad that is part of the tourist department for New Jersey.
Yes.
What is New Jersey's current tourism motto? Let's see that first. I'm gonna look that up. You guys talk about something while I figure this out.
We've almost got everything fixed from Hurricane Sandy.
Jesus.
Holy shit, you were on fire tonight.
Wow.
You are awesome.
Let's see. Oh, here's something recent. Okay, let me see if I can figure this out.
Okay, people are saying the Garden State, that's their state motto. He's talking about their tourism motto.
Don't play a video for me, New Jersey. Don't do that. Okay, New Jersey has an official state bird, state flag, but it has no state slogan. Okay. I can't use those because somebody else has already made them up. New Jersey and perfect. God, because the thing on here says the unofficial slogans have been New Jersey, what's that smell? And New Jersey, most of our elected officials have not been indicted. In favor of New Jersey, come see for yourself, which was then scrapped a few months later after someone discovered it had already been used by West Virginia. Okay. Oh my God. Is Chris Christie still governor of New Jersey, or did that change?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. This episode is brought to you by New Jersey. Our governor is the center of the universe. He has his own gravitational pull. I don't know. I can't think. I know a little bit about New Jersey and indirectly from my job. New Jersey's got some issues, especially in their government and judicial departments, let's just say. Scribe, what's your thoughts on the Wonder Woman ban? I don't know anything about a Wonder Woman ban.
You think they're talking about not letting guys in?
Yeah.
Maybe. What's my thoughts on it? I think somebody probably has a lawsuit primed. Otherwise, I don't care. I mean, it doesn't affect me.
I mean, what I said was, like, if you're going to do that, do it for a chick flick where you're not sending basically all of your revenue away for a night. What are you, stupid? Women aren't going to go see Wonder Woman, not at the same rates that men are because it's a superhero movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Do a ladies' night for a chick flick.
I mean, you have an action movie starring a woman, true, but it's fighting Nazis and big gods and monsters and things. It's like,
well, they're not Nazis.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Germans. Sorry,
Germans.
Yeah, the Kaiser Germans, from the World War One. But still, I mean, it's punching Germans who are in the helmets and everything. It's practically Nazis, since they couldn't completely duplicate Captain America. So yeah, most of your audience you would think would want to be men, but and now of course this is not the movie studio doing this. This is a draft house. This is a theater chain doing this. So
well, it's a theater chain. It's fucking dumb. Sorry.
It is, yeah, but I mean, so they're not going to be doing the studio any favors if people mistake that for them saying, "Oh, the studio doesn't want men at these kind of screenings."
Right.
Yeah, but anyway,
I mean, like I said, you're shooting yourself in the foot because you're like, oh, the people who will come to see this, you should go away. Don't send your audience. What is wrong with you?
Imperial Germans, no Nazis. Yes, Falcon. I apologize.
See, I knew somebody was going to bring it up.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Well, I mean, like I said, I can't. It's hard for me to sort of separate the Captain America comparison to the whole thing because it's just so similar.
Because it's she-male Captain America.
Yeah. Oh God.
SDA, do you know where Mara is? Is she okay?
I actually don't. I think something's up with her phone.
Oh, okay.
Because I think she threw it, or not threw it, like dropped it, and it exploded.
Oh.
Let's see. Scribe. Sorry.
Real quick, in the same question that somebody asked about Mara, they asked where Better Red Than Dead is. We don't know. Yeah, if anybody knows, let us know because we don't know.
As far as I know, her YouTube channel and her Twitter account have gone poof. And no, I never received a message. I never heard anything else. If somebody out there happens to know or had known Red personally, or at least in passing, and knows anything, I'd love to find out. I just want to know that she's all right. I mean, somebody obviously consciously erased her account, so presumably she didn't have something horrible happen to her. But then I don't know. So yeah. Stephen asks, Scribe, what's your thoughts on Johnny Depp playing the Invisible Man and an all-around opinion of the Dark Universe? So this goes into Universal for the second time trying to start this Universal monster shared universe thing. They first tried to do it with Dracula Unbound. Was it Dracula Unbound or Dracula Untold or whatever a couple of years ago, but it didn't go anywhere. And now they're going to restart that with The Mummy, which has got a Tom Cruise vehicle. And my first thought, because that preview was before Guardians of the Galaxy today, and my first thought then, as it was, or now as it was then, is that I don't like the fact that every one of these monsters is a world-threatening event. They had scenes in there where you had a giant sandstorm destroying London, or attacking London. And the same thing with the face in the sandstorm, just like in the old Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Those kind of movies aren't scary. Big disaster movies where you take your monster and turn it into some kind of global threat isn't scary. It reduces it. Make your monsters scary. Make the stakes small and personal. Don't make them global. Is what I prefer have happen. Because look at the old monster movies themselves. You had a monster who was threatening a small group of people or a town or something, and there was some sense of threat. When you turn it into a big special effects ridden giant hoopla, it takes away a lot of the power of that. But you have The Mummy, you've got Russell Crowe's going to play Dr. Jekyll, Johnny Depp is going to be the Invisible Man, and yeah, I just hope that they tone it down and make it more monsters instead of just 2012 or the day after or anything else like they usually do.
Yeah, I prefer even in writing to kind of, I don't know, pull the reins in on your villains and stuff like that, because it is scarier when it's when it feels like it could happen to you.
Yeah,
and it's also more believable as well.
Yeah, it takes away some of the grounding.
I know it's a monster movie, but
yeah,
it's easier for you to imagine something personally attacking you than being a global disaster.
And even if you watch the original Mummy, with Boris Karloff, He wasn't a rampaging murder machine. He had a very specific goal. It was very creepy. It was very atmospheric. It's not a kind of movie that people would watch today because it was actually psychological and thematic. But God forbid they try to do that today. They have to turn into a big, CGI fest. Skeptic Simba, $5 donation. Thank you. If you're an amputee and really need your dick sucked, call Skeptic Simba. You're writing your own ads now? Okay.
Well, that was nice of him.
I guess. I don't know what the product was.
Work for you.
I guess Skeptic Simba's mouth.
Your mouth sure is pretty.
Yeah, they got a pretty mouth. Okay. This broadcast is brought to you by Skeptic Simba. When in the wilds of Georgia and you have a pretty mouth, think of Skeptic Simba. I don't know what to do with that one. What's all the squeaking? Somebody needs to oil that door. Get some WD-40.
No.
What do you mean?
Say that again. I'm going to make him open the door repeatedly.
Okay.
Okay, but like WD-40 the door.
Yeah.
No.
What's wrong with you?
Why not? Why do you want a squeaky door?
So I can hear when people come in and out.
But
okay. Don't your ears do that already with like footsteps?
Not in a carpeted room, no.
I thought you had like really good hearing.
I do.
So why do you
hear
need
that sound
an
from
immensely
anywhere in the house?
squeaky door?
It's not that squeaky.
It is very squeaky.
Y'all are just bitches.
Dude,
it needs help.
I heard it on the West Coast. It's a squeaky door.
Chat, will you tell them to kiss my ass, please?
Oh, we can't touch that because it's the monkey butt.
You can't touch it, but you can kiss it.
Can't touch this. Question marks, guys. You got to put question marks on things, or else we don't know that you're talking to us and asking questions. Was Mara's phone involved in the Ariana Grande concert? Oh God. Thanks, Ryan. Jeez. Kiss monkey butt. Kiss his ass, Scribe. I kiss his ass every night, letting him on here.
Oh, fuck you.
That alone is a compliment that I would even spend time with this man. Holy cow.
Oh.
My presence is a gift.
Great. Now I've buried our questions. Do we have more questions up here?
No. I'll scroll up a bit, but I'm sure we missed some.
I'm sure we did. Guys, if we missed your question. Most overhated movie series.
Transformers.
I think that's deserved.
Yeah. Most hated otherwise.
I think
I take that to mean
overhated. Like you shouldn't hate it so much.
Yeah, that's how I
overhated.
It.
Like people hate it. I don't know.
That's a hard one because I think most of them have deserved the hate they get.
Yeah.
Like Twilight, don't watch that. It'll make not only you. It will retard your whole family line.
I guess maybe. To this point, I haven't is the Alien series. And that's not to say that the first couple movies weren't excellent. Like the first one and the second one are awesome. I even kind of like the third one. The fact that they kept going is like you're taking a really good thing and really fucking it up. And so just the Alien, whenever I see a new Alien or Predator movies coming out, I get wary. Because it's really hard to take them seriously or think they're going to be any good after how they diluted the brand over time. Let's see.
Have you seen Reefer Madness? No.
A long time ago. Like somebody played it at a party or something. It's not a good movie to watch by yourself these days, but I mean, if you watch it with some friends or something, it's kind of silly, the kind of paranoia they pumped into like, Reefer Madness and all that. But it's like, it's a one-time deal. You watch it once, you never need to watch it again.
Somebody asked you about, and I'm sorry I'm saying somebody, this is stuff that keeps flying by and I'm horrible with remembering names. But somebody asked you to further expound on Alien versus Predator.
Skeptic Simba, thank you again. Fidget spinners are for autists. Oh, okay. I need a product for Skeptic, and I'm not gonna trust the chat at this point because they'll probably give me some other suicide machine. Alien Predator expounding upon. I mean, as far as the quality of the movie, it just felt really forced. The first movie, it wasn't bad, but I mean, I don't know. There was some kind of in Predator 2, when at the very end of the movie you see the trophy room, and you see that alien skull, and they don't make any mention of it. It's just a side thing. It's just sort of an inside joke kind of deal. But at that point, I thought, oh man, that would be really cool. How would they do that? Honestly, I would like to see an Alien versus Predator movie that has no humans in it. It would be a movie no one would want to make, but it should be the movie that is made, because injecting a human element into that, I think, is what screws up that concept for the sake of a movie. And I understand that the comic book series that started it did have humans in it, but I think a really cool Alien versus Predator movie would be a movie from the Predator's perspective, and they have to go down and hunt, and there's some complication. And even if we see like their language in subtitles, which I would prefer, they do it that way, because the series thus far, like Alien versus Predator was okay. The sequel, Alien versus Predator, was awful, just awful. And I'm wary of what they're going to do next if they decide to do another Alien versus Predator movie. What's a product for Simba?
Simba said that was his product.
That was his product. Fidget spinner.
I'm guessing the fidget spinner.
Didn't we already do the fidget spinner?
I think so.
I did.
You can do another one.
Okay. This broadcast is brought to you by Skeptic Fidget Spinners. Too cheap to buy a blender? Put a fidget spinner in a cup. I don't know. Jesus.
Night of Charlemagne reminded us of Life 2017 and Venom 2018.
Oh, right.
For those of you who don't know what that is a reference to, there is a theory out there that the movie Life, which was what, Ryan Reynolds, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes.
I forget who else. They're on a space station. They encounter a new alien life form. And there's a theory, conspiracy, I don't know what you call it, that's going to be the origin of Venom for the Venom movie.
Right. The movie was done by Columbia Pictures. That's owned by Sony. Sony is the company that owns the Spider-Man license. There are elements at the very end of the movie Life, I haven't seen it yet, that some could extrapolate to say that is the Venom symbiote as the alien. And part of the conspiracy theory comes from the fact that in the trailer for Life, there is a brief clip that was actually a piece of B-roll footage from The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I believe it was. And that's where this theory is sort of germinating from. Of course, this comes from Reddit, I believe, so it's also, fan fiction for the most part.
Yeah. It's an interesting theory. It'd be an interesting way to introduce the character into the universe. But it's just a theory that people have. It's interesting. It'd be one way to go.
I mean, as far as I can tell, and again, I haven't seen the movie, but there's no reason why, I guess, Sony could retrofit to say that that's a prequel after the fact, because if there's nothing preventing them from, if there's nothing about the movie Life that would inherently contradict with whatever they're going to set up for their Spider universe, then I guess they could just sort of after the fact say, oh yeah, Life's a prequel. And, they could make that work, I guess. I'm assuming that is not the case, because Life was created and produced and everything before they had figured out finalize the Venom stuff. And I'm not even sure they still have finalized the Venom stuff. I'd be surprised if they had that much foresight into their plans for how they would link such movies together, or that they would have them not associated in that way in some fashion, or give a hint in the movie. So yeah.
And we talked about this before the stream. There's no reason they absolutely have to do an origin story for Venom.
Right.
There's some reason in comic book movies they think they have to tell you who these people are. They don't necessarily have to. I mean, it's going to be weird having a Venom without a Spider-Man, but it could just be a look into Venom's life after he's been Venom for a while. Hell, they could even bring in Carnage and have a great fucking movie.
Yeah, I mean, they could, if they wanted to try to do it like, you start off the movie, Venom is fully formed, sort of like the Joker, and you just don't give him a backstory. He's just operating. And then you go into that in another movie somehow, like just like he has the exposition comes later. I wouldn't mind that as long as it made some kind of sense, because I still don't understand if they give him an origin story in this movie that doesn't involve Spider-Man. I'm very curious to know how they're going to wrangle that if they do it that way.
Yeah, I hope they just skip the origin story until they have the rights back to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because I don't need an origin story. You can tell me what you need to about him. Because Venom had his own comic series. He's featured in other comic books besides Spider-Man, so he could work. It won't though because it's Sony and Sony sucks.
Oh, I've got a comic book. It was a What If. Do you know the What If series in Marvel?
Oh yeah, I love the What If series.
Yeah, so I got the What If Venom was the Punisher. And,
that'd be sweet.
Yeah, so there's this thing where they figure out a way to make Frank Castle had trained to be a priest at one point in his history, and so there's this twist where that Frank Castle comes in after having had Spider-Man stop him from doing stuff into the same church that Eddie Brock was in, and then the Venom symbiote senses Frank Castle, and then Frank Castle uses the Venom symbiote to like form guns coming out of his arms and stuff out of the symbiote to shoot bullets and things, and yeah, he becomes the Punisher with the Venom symbiote. It's actually kind of a cool story.
Scribe, they should tell the Flash Thompson story. If you go back to the original, Flash Thompson, he didn't feature much in the series. He was the bully who picked on Peter at school. And then after Peter graduates, he shows up a few times, but not for anything major.
They're talking about the Flash Thompson Venom.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
If you go back to the Flash Thompson story, because Eddie Brock is the Venom everybody knows and loves. He was the best Venom.
Yes.
And at that time, Flash Thompson just wasn't part of it. So in order to make a movie about it, they would have to
build up to that.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of build up there.
They would have to establish Flash Thompson. There'd have to be some, it wouldn't be something you jump into and just say, oh, Flash Thompson is Venom. And, it's because he can't walk without Venom because he got his legs blown off in Iraq or whatever. That's a whole lot of preamble that I don't think you could just gloss over in a instantaneous Venom movie.
Yeah.
Presumably Tom Hardy is going to be playing Eddie Brock. Presumably.
With the Venom character, he's actually one of my favorite characters in the universe because he's basically a sociopath.
Mm-hmm.
He has a very strict sense of right and wrong.
Yes.
It just doesn't mesh with societies. Because he won't hurt innocent people he consider he's very Muslim. Whoops. You weren't wanting to monetize this stream, were you?
No, the viewers have done that for me already, and I thank you very much to everybody who's donated.
Yeah, somebody just said Eddie was a bodybuilder. He should be huge in the movie. That was Peter. Thank you.
Yes.
In the comics, he's fucking massive. They should actually CGI him in that suit.
Well, so Tom Hardy, who is not is a guy who can put on quite a bit of bulk when he wants to, is going to be playing Venom. So presumably he will be the bodybuilder physique, hopefully.
Yeah, that was so sad in Spider-Man 3.
Topher Grace.
He's so tiny.
Yeah, I mean, that was the whole thing. Eddie Brock and Venom was supposed to be the complete mirror image of Spider-Man, where Spider-Man's kind of lithe, Brock is all bulky and muscly. Oh, your boy Pat. Oh, thank you, Pat. Ranting Monkey, everything, and this right here.
No. You gotta say it like he does. Everything, this right here. This right there. He says that a lot in his videos, and it's awesome. Every time he says it, I laugh.
Oh, I don't even know. I havened heard it before. I wouldn't know how to say it.
You gotta go watch your boy Pat. He makes some really funny videos, especially that last one he did. The one he did where he's complaining that everybody's already made videos about the topics he wants to cover.
Oh yeah. Well, awesome. you know his stuff better than I do. Sorry, Pat. What product should I do for Pat?
Definitely vitamins.
Really? Is that an inside joke or something? I'm so ignorant on this. I don't know. Okay.
Monkey, do you want to explain it or?
No, I think I know. This broadcast is brought to you by your boy Pat Vitamins. Do you want to get big and bulky like Vegan Gains? Take vitamins. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And with that, guys, we're just about out. This is the very, very, very last call, like in a minute or two.
Yeah, we last called real late tonight. This isn't even a 2-minute warning. This is a 1-minute warning.
Okay. Why Topher, Peter? Because Topher was a name at the time. And I don't know, they thought that making Topher Grace and Tobey Maguire sort of look similar, that was the trick, but that's not how Eddie Brock is supposed to work.
We have Hollow Tempest says, have you ever seen the movie The Room? Also get SDA to see it. I have not.
Yes, I have seen The Room.
I will have to look it up.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Yeah, okay.
Bloodwing says he's having Brussels sprouts for dinner tomorrow. Want me to save you some? No, that's nasty. Don't eat that shit.
Yeah, beware of the mussels from Brussels because Van Damme is going to do some Van damage.
Well played.
And I think I'm going to cut that there because that's about the worst joke I could do tonight. Chat, thank you so much for coming out tonight and hanging out with us. Thank you to everybody who donated tonight. I hope my ads weren't too horrible, either in the humor part or in the quality. Monkey, SDA, as always, thank you so much for joining me on our little adventure. My life makes me happy, mostly.
Real quick,
I suppose. Yes.
Tomorrow is on my channel, guys.
Yes, Monkey's channel. Look out for that. Now, are we going to be starting at the usual time, or you have some delays, maybe?
We may be delayed a little bit. Depends on how well Grand Monkey goes to sleep, because I have her tomorrow, and Lady Monkey's has to go into the office. She won't be home till about 9:15ish.
Okay.
So if it's not 9, it should be about 9:30, guys.
Okay, and watch out on Twitter. We'll try to keep you updated as things develop tomorrow night.
Oh,
all right, guys.
Late donation. Got to address it. Thank you, Kelvin. Do you think a Moon Knight TV show could work? Yeah, I think it could. I think any comic book could.
Yeah, Moon Knight could work, but I think only on Netflix. Jesus. I think Netflix would be the best place for it. I hope they do a Moon Knight show, a Blade show, and a Ghost Rider show on Netflix, and then they can do the Midnight Suns team-up movie where they fight Mephisto or something. That'd be fucking cool. Anyway,
we didn't
thank you guys so much.
Fast enough. Wait, you have another donation.
Oh, geez, Louise, guys. Product guillotines. No!
Thank you, Ryan Walters.
Guillotines. Oh, my God. All right. Okay, so, but I also need one for Kelvin. Oh, my God. Moon Knight. Oh, Jesus. Okay. This broadcast is brought to you by Kelvin Robinson. When Moon Knight runs out of his night discs to throw at people, he uses Kelvin Robinson's croissants. I don't know. Oh, and then guillotines. Okay, this broadcast is brought to you by Ryan Walters Guillotines. Need to end the French Revolution? Use Ryan Walters to cut people's heads off, I guess. I don't know.
Well played. You got it done. And we need to get out of here before another one of these comes in. Although, thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys so much, guys. Have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow on Monkey Stream. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.